Let's go ahead and let's work on doing the little Ethernet port as well as little optical out port that's back here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In the reference image, we've got this optical audio out right here, this little squarish kind of looking object. And then we have the Ethernet one over here. So let's do the Ethernet one real quick. I'm going to come over here to this view. We have a polygon here that's kind of in position and ready to go for us. So what I'm going to do is use the knife tool with that polygon selected. And I'm going to make some cuts over here. And let me take this polygon now. I'm going to make a cut somewhere up there and another one somewhere down here. Okay, so we end up with basically this polygon like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to give this, I'm going to extrude this, Control D to extrude, and push it in just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to inset this polygon, very small amount, something like this looks pretty good. Then what I'm going to do is take this edge and the bottom edge, basically top and bottom. I'm going to go to split evenly. I'm going to take this edge here. Basically, let me show you the reference image here. What we have is kind of like a step pattern. Okay, so we have this area here, then it goes up, and then in, up, and then up again like this. So it's kind of like a little two-step pattern. So that's what I'm going to try to imitate. So I'm going to take this to about right here. Looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take maybe these two edges. I'll subdivide these evenly. Maybe give it about 3 subdivisions. Take this new polygon. Go to my reference image here. I'm going to use scaling. I'm going to turn on COG. I'm going to scale this up like this. Come back over here. Take this edge and that edge. I'm going to subdivide that evenly. Then what I'm going to do is take these two edges here, subdivide those evenly, give it about 3 subdivisions. Should have a new polygon right here. And I'm going to take that polygon and kind of scale it up a bit. So I end up with something like this. I have like this kind of step pattern right here. Let me just look at my reference image real quick. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Not too bad. The only thing I would do is I'm going to take, just because I'm picky about stuff like this, I'm going to take these edges and move them to the left a little bit more. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 polygons that kind of make this pyramid step pattern if you looked at it sideways, and I'll just extrude and push that in like so. And to give this a little bit more detail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this polygon here and I'm going to extrude that, pull it out like this. I'm going to use the tweak tool and turn on the welding. I'm going to weld that there and weld that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edge tool and I'm going to grab these 2 edges, edge selection there, ray casting. I'm going to go to subdivide evenly. I'm going to add about maybe 16 subdivisions to this. Now I'm going to take all of these polygons. Looks kind of like a keyboard if you were holding it sideways or something. I'm going to go to Inset Polygons. I'm going to turn the merge option here. I'm going to uncheck it. And I'm going to reduce the amount of inset. If you hold down Shift while you move this slider around, it gives you more control. So I'm going to do something like this. And then I'm going to hit Extrude and push this into the object like that. Just makes for a more interesting type of detail. If you want to take this further, you could even just come over here, take these 2 edges there. You could split that evenly. Maybe you could take this polygon right here and maybe inset that, something like this, and maybe extrude that and push it into the object. So all these little mechanical details that you continue to add will just make your object just pop out and look more appealing and things like that. So let's do a little optical port over here. The way I'm going to do that is pretty easy. I'll just go to my back view over here. I have a polygon right there that's already set up and ready to go. So let me go to my camera view. I'm going to extrude this into the object, just a bit like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Inset Polygons. I'm going to inset this quite a bit, something like this. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of scale this thing and play around with it. So something like that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to come in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this vertex and this vertex, just those 2, bevel them and try to get the shape from the image, so something like this. And then just to add more detail to this, I'm going to inset this again. Drop that inset amount to something like this. Maybe a little bit more, or not. I'm going to take all those polygons that are right there outlining that, hit Control D to extrude that and push it in to make sort of like a gap or hole. Then I'm going to take this guy right here, I'm going to inset this guy just a bit, maybe something like, I don't know, something like that looks pretty good. Then maybe what I'll do is take all this ring of edges here, so just select one, Alt middle mouse button, click another one, it'll select the entire ring. And then what I'm going to do is go to split, or subdivide evenly I should say. Then I'm going to take, with the Alt middle mouse button, I'm going to select the entire loop of edges, pull them out a bit like this, and then maybe I'll bevel that to make it look interesting. And I'll push the distance all the way and give this some rounding. Something like that looks pretty good. Now the shading looks kind of awkward, so I'll select this polygon here, go to my context menu, go to select adjacent, and select edges. Then I'm going to go down to mark hard edge vertex, and there we go. That fixes that shading up real good. Makes it look pretty nice. So it just looks a little bit more appealing and interesting than it did before. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. Let me go ahead and freeze modeling on that. And there we go. That's done for the moment. In the next video, we'll continue. We still have a lot more details to work out.